the conversation we had pre-show, around what we thought was harder, sparked up an interesting debate. And the question was, is it harder to hit 100-mile-an-hour fastball?
Well, it was what's more likely. What do you think more like is more likely?
Or the hole-in-one.
Correct, that's right. The verbiage was, what is more likely to happen? An individual to hit either a 100-mile-an-hour fastball or hit a hole-in-one. And you argue for it's harder to hit the 100-mile-an-hour fastball. I argued the hole-in-one. Good arguments to both sides as far as, luck and being involved and how many tries and the constants.
It's a good conversation to have between the homies, for sure.
I'm curious to see what the listeners at home, what their thoughts are on it. So make sure to chime in. Drop a comment. Let us know what you think.
That'll be interesting to see, and it'll be interesting to see, the kinds of people that have the opinions and, their backgrounds. But like I said, it's just
hard.
I think
all those sports are just hard.
It's for me. It's more like, I almost had a hole in one, and I've never hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. So that's that. I personally think it's more likely for you to get a hole in one. Depends how long you've been playing, how good you are.
Even luck, man. Just the luck of swinging the golf club in a certain way and making good contact and having that thing come out flush, right, without you even really intending it to.
Yeah.
That's more likely to happen, in my opinion,
I think it's more likely to happen.
My argument about dumb luck for, your argument for dumb luck in golf, just anybody can hit a shot.
Was the reverse for baseball.
Which has happened. That was my argument for the baseball swing, and at some point you have to line it up dumb luck and just happen to make some contact. But when you put it in perspective, if you've seen an 80-mile-an-hour pitch come by your head before, well, now add 20 miles an hour to that. You don't see it. So that argument, I do understand that. But man, I've been playing golf long enough, and
you still haven't hit a hole in one.
I've never seen one in person either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hard.
So, have you came close?
To what, hitting a hole in one? I have. A couple times.
So then now you prove my point.
He was waiting on that one, dog. Go ahead, ask me.
And I've been with people that have gotten in real close. Shout out to my boy Frankie. That might be the closest one, bro. Hit, spun back, rolled, and 2 inches away from the cup, around the cup, could have lipped out.
Flirting with
fire.
And it was, and still, we haven't seen anybody. We golf a lot, dog, and we've never seen, the coming close is few and far between.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot more bad shots. You're talking about failure. There's a lot more failure that happens at our level of golf.
Yeah,
there are those good ones, but yes. We have come close on occasion.
You've experienced either yourself or other people come close on occasions to get a hole in one. But the chances of any of you guys ever stepping on a batter's box,
I'm not hitting it. I'm telling you right now,
How
dog.
many of you guys have ever hit a 90
And I've swung a bat way more than this guy, dog. And I know in my heart of heart, soul of soul, dog, that I would never get close to a 90-mile-per-hour pitch. I can't even think 100 miles per hour.
The statistics, and I look at it like this. Every weekend there's a golf tournament. Every week there's baseball. Now that we're in baseball season. Are 100-mile-an-hour pitches being thrown every game at least a couple of times
nowadays?
A year?
Actually, nowadays, not many, but
not many, but they are being thrown. So you talk about multiple games a week, so that there's multiple instances of those balls being thrown. Of those instances, I gotta imagine that people are hitting off of people throwing.
So I'm saying it's probably 15 to 20%.
Here's what I'm getting at. It happens 15 to 20% of the time. There's weekends in golf where you don't get a single hole in one.
Right, but now
152 player fields or 140 player fields, 4 tournament days, you don't see a single hole in one.
Right. But again,
the best in the world.
It goes back to the question of it's what's more likely. So another thing too is now we're talking about professionals.
Yes.
I'm talking about what's more likely for a random, Josecito on the street.
If I was
you know what I'm saying? You are more likely to get a hole in one than hit 100 miles an hour. Now, if you want to talk about, all right, what's more likely for Mike Trout to do? Probably hit 100 miles an hour, but we're talking about Mike Trout.
I can see Mike Trout hitting a hole in one too.
I can see that too.
Yeah, for sure. Right?
I can see that too.
For sure, dog. You're making it look easy.
If we're specifically talking about Mike Trout, he's more likely to hit a home run off 100 miles an hour.
Sure. Yeah,
Mike Trout, the best baseball player in the game.
So the question is the average person.
Now, the average person is
more likely. Average person more
likely to probably make a hole in one for sure.
It's definitely a hole in one.
Definitely a hole in one.
100-mile-an-hour pitch or hit a hole in one.
So much. If that
drop a comment. Let us know what you guys think.
More likely the baseball. I'm gonna keep going on that side just for the sake of the
argument. There would be more. You would run into more guys that played professional baseball if that was the case. If that was the case.
Yeah, I figured for you to be up in that level, like that MLB elite level, you got to be able to hit that.
If it's more likely that an average person can hit 100 miles an hour, there would be more pro guys walking around.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
And we're talking about elite, right? And Major League Baseball is the elite level.
It's the best of the best.
Where you're thinking, this guy's definitely hit 100 miles per hour multiple times in his lifetime of playing baseball. You know what I mean? And they still, like you said, they're going to miss 7 times out of 10, especially if it's a fastball.
And like the pro guys, big leaguers, they golf all the time.
Yeah.
They golf all the time. So I think one of them has gone
close as hell to a hole-in-one, for sure.
I don't golf with every Major League, baseball player, but
man, gotten close.
As much as guys golf, they've gotten close. And it's more likely. It's just more likely. Hitting 100 miles an hour.
Well, if you made that argument, dude, what do you think is more likely for Mike Trout to hit a hole-in-one or for John Rahm to hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball? I'm in that specific scenario, I'm going to go with Trout.
Trout, right? Exactly.
For sure.
Rahm doesn't look like he can swing a baseball bat.
You just got to think about the amount of chances, right?
On a regular backswing, dog.
He's got a belly, man. He's got a big belly, man. He's got that belly. I was just going to get in the way.
He could probably get it, dog. He could probably get it. But
that's a good scenario. Like, Trout is probably going to get more likely than Rahm hit that fastball.
That fastball, yeah. It's an interesting topic, man, and it just shows you how hard, again, those type of sports are, and like you got to have some type of really good coordination or at least dumb luck to get it to be able to at least even make contact with a 100-mile-per-hour ball, and that's you being really good at baseball.
And that's you being, exactly, that's really good at baseball. That's not your average Joe walking down the street,
Yeah, man. Yo.